Hello everyone. Today we can discuss friction topic from the laws of motion. It is a +1 syllabus. I want to ask one question. Can we walk on a smooth surface? Answer, it is simple. We are unable to walk on a smooth surface. But if you observe this floor, see this floor, it is smooth surface, looking like a smooth surface. It is not a perfectly smooth surface. But we are walking on this floor. Means how it is possible? Just now I told you, it is looking like a smooth surface, but it is not a perfect smooth surface. Means when you observe this surface by using of the microscope, we can observe the irregularities. Means when you observe this floor by using of the microscope, the irregularities can be appears to be like this, the irregularities. And when you wear the chappals or shoes, the shoes can have the spikes and grooves like this only. That spikes and grooves also we can call as a irregularities. So when you are contact with this irregularities may or may not be interlocked with this one, at that time we can able to walk. That is cause friction. For example, if you observe our hand, our hand having the fingerprints. These fingerprints, it is nothing but a irregularities like up and downs. Irregularities means up and downs. Now I am holding the marker. Now this marker looking like a smooth surface, but if I observe this marker by using of the microscope, this one also having it is the irregularities. When I touch this, when I hold this marker, these irregularities may or may not be interlocked. At that time only I can hold this perfectly. So this is also, this one it is caused the friction. What is the friction? I want to tell here. Objects are in contact. I will write the definition here. Friction is a force which opposes the relative motion when two objects are in contact. Now friction is a force, just underline the force, which opposes the relative motion. Next one, it is relative motion when two objects are in contact. Now contact, it is the third one. See, in this definition we can observe the three quantities. One it is force, one more it is relative motion, and third one it is the contact. First I want to give the definition for these three quantities again. Force. What is the force? Simply we can define it is the pull or push. We know this definition perfectly. Force is nothing but a pull or push. Next to definition it is the relative motion. What is relative motion? When two objects are in the motion with respect to the each other. For example, two objects are, once again I am defining relative motion. Two objects are in motion with respect to each other. Two objects are in motion with respect to each other. For example, while you are going by bus, when you observe the outside nature with respect to the bus, the nature it is appears to be all the trees and shop which are on the ground, it is appears to be going backward direction while bus is moving forward direction. Next one, with respect to the nature, with respect to the shop and with respect to the ground, the bus is moving forward direction. See, in this situation, bus is in the motion and here it is ground. The trees and shop also it is in the motion. With respect to the each other, with respect to the bus, the tree is going backward direction. It is appears to be going backward direction. With respect to the tree, the bus is moving forward direction. Now, two objects are in motion with respect to each other is called relative motion. For example, here only, while I am moving forward direction, your order appears to be going backward direction. With respect to yourself, I am appears to be moving forward direction. With respect to yourself and myself, if I am motion and if you are rest also, with respect to each other, it is in the motion. So that we can call it is the relative motion. So relative motion, once again definition I am giving. Two objects are in motion with respect to each other is called relative motion. And last one, contact force. What is the contact force? Contact force means when two objects are in contact, a force exists. That force is called contact force. For your understanding, see this one duster, I kept here on my hand. Now in this situation, this is one object, my hand is one object, duster is one object. Now these two are in contact. Now a force exists. When two objects are in contact, one force exists. That force is called contact force. For your understanding, I will draw the diagram here. This is horizontal surface and one more it is object like this. This is horizontal surface and this is block. The block is placed on the horizontal surface. At that time, ground and block both are in the contact. At that time, a force exists. That force is called contact force or reactional force. Simply, this force is called contact force or reactional force. This contact force and reactional force resolve into the two components. One is horizontal component, one more it is vertical component. Here horizontal component of reactional force is called frictional force. Frictional force. And vertical component of reactional force is called normal force. Once again, when two objects are in contact, a force exists. That force is called reactional force or contact force. Here contact force is resolved into the two components. One is horizontal component and one more it is vertical component. Here horizontal component is nothing but a frictional force and vertical component is called as a normal force. Okay, this is about the diagram and contact force also. Before further calculation of about this diagram, I want to tell you one more here. Friction is a force which opposes the relative motion. Here friction is the force, I given the definition force, which opposes the relative motion means frictional force is opposing the relative motion. Is it correct or wrong? Always kinetic is opposed, anytime it can be support. Means it sometimes it support the friction support the motion, sometimes oppose the motion. For your understanding, I will give the one example. See here, it is rolling on this situation. So while it is rolling on the block, it is moving. After some time, for example, just apply the force. After covering some distance, it is coming into the rest position. Here friction opposes the motion of the body. Here friction opposes the motion of the body. Now in the second case, where it is support means while a person walking on the ground, while a person is walking on a ground, his feet is contact with the ground. When it is like this, while it is walking on the surface, now his feet and ground both are in contact. At that time, contact force or reactional force can be exist. Then after, frictional force, it can be resolved into the two components. One it is frictional force and one more it is normal force. In this situation, frictional force is support the motion of a human body. Frictional force is supporting the motion of the human body. And what about the duty of normal force means? Here normal force is balancing the human body. Normal force is balancing the human body. So those situation, one object, for example, one object is football. When ball it is moving on the ground, forward direction, after covering some distance, it comes to rest position. Means here frictional force is opposing the motion of the ball. Here it is frictional force is supporting the motion of the person. So sometimes in some cases frictional force support the motion of the motion, and some cases it is oppose the motion. So we have to observe like this. And coming to this diagram we can write the one equation. It is looking like a one right angle triangle. Just I am taking one parallel line like this. This is also we can write as a normal because it is parallel to the normal. Now this is one right angle triangle. If you observe, it is a one right angle triangle. O, otherwise A, B, C. ABC is the one right angle triangle. We can write the equation AC square is equal to opposite BC square plus adjacent side AB square. Now AC, what is the AC is nothing but a reactional force. So I am writing it is R square. That is equal to BC. What about the BC is nothing but a normal force. It is N square plus AB. AB is the frictional force, F square. Then R is equal to, you can write under root of N square plus F square. So R is equal to under root of N square plus F square you can write in this final equation. For example, if object is placed on this situation, now is there any frictional force is acting on the body? There is no frictional force is acting on the body because according to the definition, see here, which oppose the relative motion. Here there is no opposing force. When I apply the some force, opposing force will be exist, but I am not applying, just it is rest portion only. No external force is acting on the body. At that time there is no frictional force acting on a body. Frictional force is equal to 0. When frictional force is equal to 0, at that time you can write R is equal to N. Reactional force is equal to normal force. Normal force we can write as a weight of the object also. Further I will define according to this diagram what is normal force and what is frictional force also. Now I am going to define. First, normal force. Normal force. How we can define the normal force means, see, it is similar. Normal force, frictional force, contact force, all are it is similar definitions only. A small word only different. In this situation, see here diagram it is here. It is horizontal surface. One block it is placed on the horizontal surface. When now these two are in contact, two objects are in contact, a force exists. Now a force exists. When two objects are in contact, a force exists which is perpendicular to the plane of contact. I am using one new word here, plane of contact. Plane of contact means where the two objects are in contact, that we can call it is the plane of contact. See here, these two are contact. My hand and this block is contact at this place. That we can call it is the plane of contact. Here it is, this is the plane of contact, isn't it? A force exists. A force exists when two objects are in contact. Here two objects means this is object and this ground also one object. Two objects are in contact which is perpendicular to the plane of contact. This is perpendicular to the plane of contact. See here, this is like this. This is plane of contact. It is like this. Now these two are perpendicular direction. So which is perpendicular to the plane of contact, that is called a normal force. According to this diagram we can define it is normal force is like this. Once again I am defining. A force exists when two objects are in contact which is perpendicular to the plane of contact, that is called a normal force. And next one it is frictional force. According to the diagram I am defining, not perfect standard definition. Frictional force. Frictional force means when two objects are in contact. Again, when two objects are in contact, a force exists. Same definition. A force exists when two objects are in contact which is parallel to the plane of contact. Which is parallel to the plane of contact. Means a force exists. A force exists when two objects are in contact which is parallel to the, this is parallel to the plane of contact. See here, plane of contact here, and the force existed this one. These two are parallel to each other. So this is called a frictional force. In these two definitions, here it is normal force is perpendicular to the plane of contact. Here it is frictional force is parallel to the plane of contact. This is the introduction of the frictional force. Frictional force, according to the definition, and we can write here, frictional force is directly proportional to the normal force. Frictional force directly proportional to normal force, means F is directly proportional to normal force. When I remove the proportionality, one constant takes place, that is equal to mu into n. F is equal to mu into n. What is the mu here? Means mu is equal to coefficient of friction. Mu is, we can call it is coefficient of friction, and this equation we can write as a F is equal to mu into mg also, because see here, same diagram, when object is placed on the ground, normal force is acting upward direction. A force exists on the block due to the ground, that is upward direction, that is normal force, and weight of the block is acting downward direction, but it is not moving up and down like this. So there is no acceleration of the block. When there is no acceleration of the block, we can write here upward force is equal to downward force. What about upward force? Normal force. Downward force is equal to mg. Upward force is equal to downward force. So n is equal to mg. Then if I write here F is equal to, we can write mu into mg. Frictional force is equal to mu into mg, we can write. And the types of the friction it is, we can discuss it is in the further class also. But what are the types it is? Means we have the three types of the friction. One, it is static frictional force, and second one, it is kinetic frictional force, and third one, it is rolling frictional force. We can discuss about this one, and further calculation also there we can discuss in the next class. Thank you.